What's up, Gator Nation? What's up, RollinwithCarlos family? As you guys know, we started a new era yesterday, and we've officially started the process of trying to hire a new football coach at the University of Florida. Scott Strickland and interim head coach Billy Gonzalez, which is also the receivers head coach, spoke to the media yesterday. I'm going to read you an article, then we're going to go ahead and play some of the press conference. This article was written by a friend of the channel and co-host of Swampcast, Dylan Olive, yesterday. It's called Gators AD, Scott Strickland breaks silence on plan for head coach search. The Florida Gators athletic director broke down what his expectations are for what he wants in the next football head coach. Ahead of the search for his third Florida Gators football head coach hire, athletic director Scott Strickland shared his priorities and preferences and what he will look for in a candidate. He will later select to take over the program. Strickland, who has been at Florida since 2016, said he will be the sole decision maker in the search for the next Gators head coach, making his third coaching hunt since taking over in Gainesville. His last two hires, Dan Mullen and Billy Napier, combined for a 56-38 record at the helm, winning just 3 bowl games in 7 complete seasons at Florida. Every time you go through the process, you learn something, Strickland said. When asked about being more confident with more experience, I'm confident that we have learned lessons. Now embarking on another search, Strickland emphasized a desire for results from the next candidate, acknowledging the heavy investment and standard of success the university has had for decades. The goal is pretty simple. We want to compete for championships, and not just compete, but we want to win championships. The University of Florida has been invested in being good at football. I don't think we have ever been invested as we are right now. Been as invested as we are right now. Strickland said there is somebody out there who can come in and put this football program in a position where it can win championships. When finding that somebody, Strickland said Florida will be thorough among a wide group of candidates, adamant to find the next championship-winning coach for the Gators. The search is going to be thorough. It's going to be deliberate. Despite speculation about particular candidates or things that have already been done, we are early in the process, and it will be a very thorough process, Strickland said. We have a wide group of candidates. We want people to win championships at the University of Florida. We want somebody who can be a strong leader and win championships. With a long journey ahead, the claimed Gators decision maker prepares to use every resource provided to him, ready to compete in a market that already has multiple high-profile programs involved, with more rumored to join in soon. I'll use every available resource we have, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'll be listening to a lot and taking a lot of suggestions and advice. We have a lot of access to information, so we utilize all of it, Strickland said. The resources are going to be the reason why we don't make the resources are not going to be the reason why we don't make the right decision going forward. We're going to try to be smart as we can and be without as we can be with our resources and make the best decisions possible. But we are also going to be very competitive. With Florida's search just at its start, the once dominant football program looks eager to get back into contention with no option seemingly off the table. Though the Gators won't be the only team looking, Strickland believes they will have no problem securing their top option. We have a lot of advantages, Strickland said. I think that logo stands out, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to also let you play. I'm going to play this complete part of the press conference and play the part of Coach Billy G. So here we go.
How are y'all today? Everybody doing good? Questions from the media, and then we'll have 3 players for you guys for questions. Scott Strickland. Thanks, Scott. How we doing, guys? Everybody good? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Wanted to just kind of touch base after the news yesterday, the decision to make a change in the head coaching position here at Florida, and felt like that was best interest for football program going forward. Not an easy decision. Anytime you make those kind of decisions that impact people personally, especially people that you care about, those are just tough, challenging decisions. Had a meeting with Coach Napier, and as you would expect, he handled it as graciously as anybody could. None of us will find a finer individual. His integrity, his character, the way he's led this place, the investment that he's made into this football program will always be appreciated, and I think we will benefit from it for a long, long time. I'm incredibly appreciative of Billy, and I think we're all sad and disappointed it didn't work out from a result standpoint the way we wanted, but just feel so strongly about who he is as a person, and he's leaving this place in a much better position than when he found it. From the quality of the roster, a lot of the support structure that our team benefits now, whether it's the life skills program like Gator made or other things. He's the kind of people he's brought in this program has been top notch, and so I just want to acknowledge that and how much respect and appreciation. We wish him and Allie and their kids nothing but the best, and he's got a lot of good days ahead of him. I'm convinced of that. After that meeting, I met with Billy Gonzalez and asked if he would step in as the interim head coach, and obviously he agreed to do so. I've known Billy a long time. Obviously, he's been around the University of Florida now in his 3 different decades. Been a part of 3 different staffs. Has been a part of this place when we were winning championships, and so he understands that pedigree. And this place, I think, is important to him, and I think he will do a great job of leading this group and the staff through the remainder of this season, and believe this gives us the best chance to have the kind of success we want to finish this season on a strong note. Also met with the staff. We got a lot of high character people in positions of coaching or support staff, and they're going to continue to work hard for the University of Florida, work hard for these players, and put them in position to be successful. Had a really good meeting with the team, and I'll share 3 things I told the team with you. And I've been around this group some of these players have been here for a few years, but even the young guys, I'm around. I'm at practice. I travel with them on game days, on road trips. There's three things I know about this group. Number one, this is a really talented group. We have a lot of ability on this roster. I saw this note the other day. This team became the first team in 57 years to play 4 straight top 10 opponents. And we competed on the field talent-wise, toe-to-toe with every one of those. We didn't win as many games as we wanted to, but there was no question that we had the talent to compete at that level. And I believe we have the talent to compete with anybody left on our schedule. This is a talented group of football players, and I know that. Second thing I know is the University of Florida matters to this group. They chose the University of Florida. They wanted to be here, and they want to have the success that you expect to have when you come play for the University of Florida. And that's the third thing, is they want to win. Winning is important to this group. They look around, they see other teams on this campus winning at a high level. They see what the basketball team did last spring. They want to be a part of that. They want to have those same experiences. So they're really talented. They care about the University of Florida, and they want to win. And our coaches and our staff, our administration, Gator Nation, we owe it to them to do everything we can to support them through the rest of this season and give them every opportunity to go out and win some ball games and finish strong. And don't let what's happened up to this point be what defines them, but what happens the rest of the way be what defines them. And I think they'll do that. So on the next steps from the leadership part of the football program, obviously we have a search that we're going to conduct, and that's my responsibility. Goal is pretty simple. We want to compete for championships, and not just compete, but we want to win championships. The University of Florida, as you guys well know, is the only school in the country that's won 3 national titles in football and men's basketball. It's the only school this century, that has won at least 1 title in football and men's basketball. And the Gators have won 3 in both. There's very few places that provide the opportunities that you have at the University of Florida. There's somebody out there who come in here and put this football program in a position where it can win championships. This search is going to be thorough. It's going to be deliberate. Despite, speculation about, particular candidates or things that have already been done, we are early in this process, and it will be a very thorough process. To that end, we have engaged with Turnkey ZRG as a search consultant in this process. I think they can bring a lot of value, and looking forward to working with them. This university has a lot of alignment. We have a really strong group of board of trustees. They provide great leadership. I'm excited about Dr. Landry. I think he was a great selection as our president, and looking forward to continue to work with him, but really impressed with the leadership that he's providing. Throughout the university, there's just great leadership, and there's a shared commitment to excellence in every corner of this campus. It's a world-class university. We have a world-class athletic program, the only athletic program in the country that's finished in the top 10 of the Directors' Cup every year that it has existed, routinely in the top 5 in all sports, 49 national championships. There's a lot of success here. There's a lot of things to build off of, and it's a standard of excellence and winning that we have to continue to perpetuate. The other thing I'd say is the University of Florida has for a long time been invested in being good in football. I don't think we've ever been as invested as we are right now. There's never been a time that as many financial resources and as much commitment has gone into making Gator football as good as it can be, whether it's elite facilities like the one we're standing in here now, the Hebner Training Complex, strong NIL infrastructure, all the other comprehensive things we do to help our athletes, whether it's the Hawkins Center at Farrier Hall from an academic standpoint, nutrition with the Conjuring Dining Center. There's just so many things that are in place for this program to be successful at the highest level. And we're here to win championships. And I think we have a really unique opportunity for somebody to walk into. So I'll take a few questions, and then we'll have Coach Gonzalez come up.
I I mean, especially given what you just said, everything's in place.
Edgar, that's there's probably another day in time for a postmortem on that part of it. Obviously I had a lot of faith in Billy, and
that's not what I was talking about.
Had a lot of confidence because he has so many traits of what it takes to be successful. There's these things are inexact science when you're dealing with choosing people, right? And I'm not exactly sure why.
This is crazy.
And I have some thoughts, but he's obviously he did a lot of really good things, and just at the end of the day, we didn't win to the level we needed to.
There's a lot made of just like the offensive side of the football. What were conversations with like during off seasons to maybe calibrate what was going on there, because it just didn't seem to ever get traction?
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations related to that. We spent probably hours in conversation. I shared with him that I thought that his strength may be in leading the program and overseeing the bigger picture. But at the end of the day, my philosophy is you hire head coaches. As athletic directors, you hire head coaches. You give them the authority to make decisions on how they want to run their program, and then you hold them accountable for that. And that's probably a big part of the reason why we're here today.
So are you going to be solely responsible for hiring the next head football coach here?
I am, yes.
How much input will you get from the board of trustees, from Turnkey, from some of your direct reports?
Yeah, well, I'll use every available resource, and we have 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. So I'll be listening to a lot and taking a lot of suggestions and advice, and we do have a lot of access to a lot of information, so we'll utilize all of that.
I just want to clarify something about Billy with the play calling. When you decided to bring him back last year, was that part of the discussion and part of your decision to bring him back? Was the expectation that he would hire a play caller? And then when he decided not to do that, what was your reaction?
I'm going to keep those conversations between the two of us private, but we had a lot of conversations related to that. It wasn't this or else. As I said, ADs hire head coaches. They don't hire assistant coaches. And, that was his decision.
At what point was the decision made to dismiss Billy, and at what point was he told that he would no longer be?
Well, I met with him yesterday morning, and, I just felt like that was the right time to going into the open date for us to move ahead here.
There's usually a type in what the fans want, but in terms of parameters, some people are saying group of five, offensive mind. I mean, what are you looking for in terms of the type of coach?
My sense is we will have a wide variety of candidates. We want people who can win championships at the University of Florida. That's going to be our goal. We want somebody who can come in here, be a strong leader, and win championships. And like I said, there's probably people from a lot of different backgrounds that could have the potential to do that. It is tricky. There are 3 current coaches in college football who have won national championships. So unless one of those 3 decide that they want to come and we think they're the right fit,
what the hell are you doing?
We're going to have to be making a projection somewhere along the line. Sometimes you find that person, and we've had instances here where we've brought people in, and my guess is most of the coaches who've won national titles at the University of Florida across various sports, I don't know this for a fact, but my guess is the first time they ever won one was at the University of Florida. So we need to find somebody who can come in here and join that list.
The job market's already kind of pretty active this cycle and might get crazy. But what are the advantages for you all in being, officially open at this juncture?
Well, time is an asset, and you would, certainly I think that's going to be beneficial. The more time you have, the easier it is. One of the unique things about these high-profile positions, searches like football, like maybe men's basketball, is usually those are the time to make those searches is compressed. And usually there, you have a week or two, and you feel there's some kind of impending date that you want to get into because it's a portal opening up or signing day occurring or whatever.
They know what they're doing, but they don't.
We have a little bit more time in this circumstance. Signing day isn't until the first week in December. Portal doesn't open until January, and we have a chance to be very thorough
How advantageous are the new transfer portal rules? Just, I mean, even compared to the first bye week, that was something. If this move was something you were deliberating at that time, how much does this change the picture?
I think it makes a lot more sense. The new rules that got put in a couple weeks ago on a lot of different levels. So I'm glad they've made those changes.
So how much more confident are you in making the third hire as opposed to the first and second?
Yeah, every time you go through these processes, you learn something and use that information and what went well, what didn't, and how can you improve upon it. And I'm confident that we've learned lessons, whether it's football or men's basketball. As I said, those two, we all coaching searches have a unique rhythm to them, but those two are unique relative to the rest. We certainly have been through enough of those. We'll keep learning through the process.
Lessons that you've learned that you could share with us.
Yeah, I think time, is always more valuable when you're in these processes, and the more time you have, I think you have a chance to be more thorough and talk to more people. A couple more questions. I'll get Coach Gonzalez up here.
Program and the benefits, but it's a very crowded job market. How do you stand out when you're up against other big programs?
I think that logo stands out, right? That, the Gator head is pretty special. And, state of 22 million people, third largest state in the country, over 500,000 living alumni, top 5 public university. We've had 14 to 16 straight sellouts. I've lost track of the number at the Swamp. And the results on the field haven't been what we are accustomed to. Yet our fans, Gator Nation, keeps coming and supporting at such a high level. The facilities, there's just the access to talent. Young people want to be at the University of Florida, right? This is a place that just people are drawn to. Every coach that we have on this campus will tell you that kids will answer the phone when they see it's from the Gators. And so I just think we have a lot of advantages that we need to utilize.
There's a narrative out there that the boosters drug you to this reluctantly.
Yeah.
Can you just set the record straight in terms of what was there, how much of that did you listen to and how much of that did affect your decision? Yeah,
this is a really unique place because of our boosters are incredibly supportive, but they also take a lot of pride in the fact that of how they conduct themselves. And, I have a lot of encouragement. I have a lot of support. But I don't have anybody reaching over trying to grab the steering wheel. And I think that's one of the things that makes this place really unique. And it's one of the reasons we've had as much success. The board of trustees hires a president. The president hires an athletic director. The athletic director is supported by the boosters and season ticket holders and everybody else who loves the Gators to go make the right decisions.
So how challenging is the financial hit?
It's not insignificant. The market kind of dictates that. We're blessed that we have tremendous resources, but it's not unlimited. So we'll have to manage that, and we will. And the resources are not going to be a reason why we don't make the right decisions going forward here. So
market, you said, can these contracts continue the way they are? I mean, you're looking at what happened at Penn State. This is a drop in the bucket compared to that.
Yeah, again, I go back to we all want to be competitive, whether it's NIL, whether it's coaching salaries. We're all responding to what the market dictates, and we can sit here and talk high and mighty how we're going to draw the line, and it would probably impact the pool of candidates you have depending on how strict you draw that line. So we're going to try to be as smart as we can with our resources and make the best possible decision. But we're also going to be very competitive. Last one.
A negotiated buyout or full amount?
We're going to honor the contract as it's written. So we'll get Coach Gonzalez up here right now. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Billy?
All right, we'll begin with a short opening statement from Coach Gonzalez, and then we'll open it up to questions.
How are y'all today? Everybody doing good? All right. Appreciate y'all coming. Good afternoon. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank Coach Napier for his 4 years of work and dedication and service to this program and the student athletes here at the University of Florida. Coach Napier is a terrific coach and a better man, and he's built a tremendous culture here at the University of Florida. I have nothing but great things to say about Coach Napier, and I'm very thankful for my time working with him and getting to know him and his amazing family. I want to thank Mr. Scott Strickland and the administration for the opportunity to lead the program for the remainder of the season and their belief and trust in me to do so. In spite of the circumstances, I'm honored and humbled to be speaking in front of you today. Florida is a special place to me. I've worked for this program for 12 years. I take this new role to heart. It means a ton to me. I've seen what this program can be firsthand. Like Mr. Strickland said in his statement, the standards and the expectations at the University of Florida and Gator football program are to win championships, not to simply just compete. For us moving forward, we need to get back to work. The results so far this season have not been up to the Gator standard. I have full trust not only in our student athletes, but in this staff to make the most of the season. We have a responsibility to do that, not only for this program, but for our fans. Florida is a destination. This program is one of the premier programs and schools in the country. I'll do my very best every day to make sure our student athletes and our staff work tirelessly to meet and uphold our Gator standards. I appreciate it, and I'll take some questions if you have some.
Are you making any staff changes moving forward?
As far as staff changes, everybody that's on the staff is going to be continuing, or as of right now, is still going to be on the staff.
Roles and who's going to call plays moving forward?
Sure. I think as you look at the defensive side, obviously, is Let It Eat. Coach has done a fantastic job over there. He's done fantastic. The whole defensive staff has done an amazing job. They work extremely well together. Their players are motivated, and they play with a lot of energy. Offensively, we're going to do kind of a collaborative effort as far as how we game plan. It's something that I've been used to over the years. Coach Sale, Coach Jalou will have a lot of input as far as the run game, what we're doing to make sure that we're going to be able to break down and see what the opponents are going to be giving us, that we're going to have an opportunity to hopefully take advantage of. And then obviously in the pass game, you're going to have Coach Callaway, who's our offensive coordinator, who leads the offensive staff. He does an unbelievable job. He does a fantastic job at leading. He does a fantastic job of making sure that everybody's on the same page. He's going to continue to work hand in hand with Coach O'Hara and the rest of the staff, offensive staff that we have. But as I said, it's going to be a collaborative effort. Coach will still be highly involved in everything. But I think one of the unique changes that I've mentioned with Mr. Strickland is football has changed. And what I mean by that is there's been a time NIL has changed and recruiting has changed. Well, the addition of the green dot on that football helmet has significantly changed how we coach and how we communicate. 5 to 6 years ago, it was anybody would go out there and you have the scripts, you come out and you type them up, and it didn't matter who would call the play. You sit there with the quarterback, you're in the huddle, and they can call the play. The quarterback reads it right off the sheet, and that's kind of how we went. But the green dot, I think, is something that's been a game changer, and in my opinion, this is my opinion. I think it's going to be helpful for us, but I'm going to let Coach Callaway is going to be the OC, but I'm going to let Coach O'Hara call the plays. And I think the most important piece to that is there's a rhythm piece between him and DJ. I think it's really important that the quarterback is an extension of his teacher. And in this particular setting for the next 5 games, I think that's going to be critical. DJ's got a great relationship with both. But I think it's going to be an opportunity just to hit home over and over the teaching methods that go on in the meeting and let him be familiar with that voice over and over in the practice setting and in the game.
Offense changed just with some wrinkles and things now with this new structure.
I think you'll see some things that are a little different. I think one thing that I want to hopefully continue to assert in the offense is I think we've got a lot of playmakers, and I'd like to be able to spread it out a little bit, hopefully, and get some of those players involved. Not necessarily change a lot. Here's the great thing about Coach Napier's offense. We actually have an arsenal of plays within the system. So it's kind of basically picking and choosing and allowing our quarterback to be in a position to do the things that he does best. And I think that's the ultimate goal as our offensive staff. Again, Coach Callaway does an amazing job, and he's going to continue to keep us together as an offensive staff and put those plays together for us.
It's going to be more of the executive head coach and let somebody else coach the receivers, or will you continue to be hands-on receivers?
I'll continue to be hands-on with them still, but at the same time, I think as we move forward in the situation, I'd like to be kind of more of a manager to make sure that we're moving in the right direction as a football program, making sure that the players are getting everything that they need. And again, obviously, we've got a good group of receivers in the meeting room right now, and we've got some good young coaches, and we've got some coaches on staff that have also coached that position that we'll have a chance to visit.
In particular, would be taking over some of the receiving.
Well, we haven't specifically talked yet as far as who will truly take over that position as we go forward, but I feel very, very confident in the guys that we have on staff right now, and the coaches, Coach Lucas and Coach Decker, do a fantastic job along the way with me as well.
Your first Brady here 20 years ago, did you lean on him or any other mentors for advice in this role?
I did. I spoke with Coach Meyer last night, so we had a chance to catch up a little bit, and I think he was my position coach in college. He was obviously had a chance to work with him at 3 different stops, and I reached out to him, and I wanted to have a chance to just talk to him a little bit about the team concept. And I think one of the unique things he talked about, and we talked about, is you're walking into a situation where it's not the perfect situation for you, Billy, but at the same time, you got to make sure you're here for the players. We've got a bunch of seniors on this football team. We've got a bunch of underclassmen that are fighting, and they're going to do everything that they can to be successful. But when you look at it, we went back and we started talking about the 2 national championships. I was very fortunate to be a part of those teams, and we started talking a little bit. And you know what? We weren't perfect back then either. We had a fight. We had to change some things. The things that we wanted to work at, and possibly when we first got here, we thought we were going to be a spread, but we didn't have all the pieces. We changed. We had Billy Latsko. We had Eric Rutledge. We utilized the personnel that allowed us to be successful. So, like I said, I know it's not a perfect situation, but nothing in life is. Again, the one thing that I do know for sure is that these players are resilient. They're tough. They're competitors, and they don't have quit anywhere in their DNA. So I'm excited for the opportunity to have a chance to work with them. And again, from my standpoint, I want to continue to help build them and grow them as men. We talk to this as our staff. Our staff's the same exact way. Our responsibility is to help these young men grow and continue to grow as young men. And if we can continue to help them grow as men, the athlete's always going to rise to the top. I was not in there for the time that Coach Napier had the opportunity to speak with them, but been through this before, obviously. And as a coach, as a player, anytime you lose a figurehead like Coach Napier was an incredible man, incredible leader. I look around and what he's done for this program. It's always hard. It's hard. It's hard for coaches. It's hard for staff members. And so you've got to be, as somebody that's part of the staff, I've got to be aware of it and make sure that everybody's on the same page. But yeah, there's feelings that are involved, and from the players too. Again, we've met with the leadership committee, and they do a fantastic job. One of the things we talked about was a question that was raised and asked was, who do we need to make sure that we kind of keep an eye on? And whether it's the freshmen and sophomores and one of the older players, and coach, it's the entire team. It's everybody. We're in this together. So. They've got a heartbeat, and so yeah, the change will be hopefully a smooth transition, and that's kind of why I'm here.
Hope to be part of the next staff.
I'm sorry.
Your hope to be part of the next staff.
I love Florida. You all know I love Florida. This is a special place to me. My daughter was born here 20 years ago. I've been here with 3 different head coaches, won 2 national championships. I've seen what it can do. Not just the University of Florida football, but Mr. Strickland talked about the academics, and he talked about all the other athletic programs around here. It's a special place. So this is a goal to mine would be to obviously to be able to stay here. But my first goal is to make sure that we put a fantastic group of players on that football field that are going to compete and play for the University of Florida. I told these guys yesterday, and it's really important that I tell my room this. When you're in my room with the wide receivers, I always talk about you play for the patch. And that means a lot to me. It means a lot to our players. I had a long talk with Brandon Spikes this past year, and we went back, but it is. You play for the patch. And I think that's the most important thing. The players, we play for the patch, you represent your name on the back of your jersey. And I think when you put them together, I think you get something special.
Just what does it mean to you to have this opportunity and to lead this program?
It means everything to me, and it all comes back down to, it's do your job, and we have a job to do. We were hired here to do a job, and the great thing about it, Coach Napier put a staff together, and I'm looking around at some of them, and you see they're all on board. They understand where we want to be. We understand that he did, like I said, he put together an incredible staff of coaches that have one goal: to move forward, continue to do our job. And I talked about that with the players yesterday, and I talked about it. Our job and our responsibility is to do our job. Everything we do is put on film. Everything we do is going to be out there. Make sure when every rep you take as a player, it's your resume. And for us as a coaching staff, we got to go do the same thing. Every chance we get to teach our players, we got to do the best possible. The best that we can possibly do to put them in the best situation to be successful on the field, because we know they don't have any quit. We know they're going to compete for us. So, absolutely.
Obviously, you know what it's supposed to look like offensively here at the University of Florida. It hasn't looked that way this season. What has it been like behind the scenes to kind of watch the offense struggle like this? And do you think these last 5 games can be a chance to maybe even take the chains off, unleash it a little bit?
Well, from the same side, and then looking out from your side, I see the same things. Obviously we want to be more productive. We want to be more explosive. That's going to be something that we'll talk about as a staff offensively to see what we can do. But I think every player has strengths. And I think the one thing that we want to be able to do is put our players in the best possible position and play to their strengths. And if that means tweaking some things where we can get guys, whether it's RPOs, taking different types of shots, different types of play actions, that's all part of it. But it's to I've said this over and over. It's not about the play; it's about the player, and it always will be. The player's the one that's going to go make the plays, and you got to be able to put them in an advantageous position. We've got great players here, so if we can put them, get some guys the ball in space and let them work, I think you'll see a Florida offense it's ready to roll.
You're upstairs.
As of right now, we've not talked about that. I do like him down on the ground, getting a chance. I think it's important that he has an opportunity to sit and talk to DJ and have DJ look at him in the eyes. And I think that's always something that I've always thought was an important piece as a quarterback coach, getting a chance. And again, that's the main reason to me why I would like him to call plays, just because of that relationship of being able to look at the quarterback, talk to the quarterback, visualize the quarterback, so they're seeing the same things and hearing the same things.
Playmakers, we haven't talked to you all season. The 2 freshmen.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your assessment of these 2 young men and their impact?
Well, I really like all my freshmen, to be honest with you. And I know some of them are redshirting, but if you talk about, VB is an incredible football player. He's super smart. He's super detailed. If you were to walk into a meeting, you'd see him taking notes. He's got his iPad out. He's taking notes, and that translates. If you're good in the academic setting and you're taking care of what you need to do as far as learning, the learning atmosphere, it translates. And he's done a fantastic job. He's super quick when it comes to picking up an offense or a play. You can talk to him about it. He can visualize it. He can see it. Then we go out and rep it, obviously. But he's got an innate ability. He's got great make you miss. He's got great speed. And he's got a great desire to be great. And he's got that want to. He's a competitor. He wants to be great. So extremely excited about his productivity so far and his future, obviously. And then, Dallas, it's been great to get him back out. Obviously, we knew he had an injury that he battled through at the beginning of the season. And it weighed heavy on him. It took a toll on him. It bothered him. I mean, it hurt him as an individual. And you hate to see it happen, but you always like to see somebody that it cares. When somebody's not afraid to shed a tear because they want to be on that football field. But the great thing about Dallas, every walkthrough, every I guess I should say game prep, every time we did anything, he stood right next to me. So when we were signaling to the receivers, he stood right next to me. When we went out on practice, he stood right next to me. So he was constantly getting his reps, mental reps, standing next to me, seeing the signals, getting a chance to talk to me. And he's a competitor. He's obviously got great size, and he can cause some mismatches.
Having played for Urban, having coached under Urban, and how demanding he is, What have you taken from him that translates into what you're going to be doing now?
Well, I think when Urban obviously was a fantastic coach, and he still is a fantastic coach. But I think if you start looking at some of the things we talk about, how we want to win and why we win. Obviously we want to be able to score in the red zone. We want to be able to play great defense. We want to win the turnover battle, and we want to be great on special teams, obviously, again. But, he's a great motivator. He's a great mind, and the players, the one thing that he did is he had his team ready to play. And I think that's a goal of mine. Obviously, they've entrusted me and have given me that opportunity, and my goal is to make sure that these guys understand I'm going to be me. I'm a little different than Coach Napier. I love Coach. I'm different than Urban. I'm different than some of the other coaches I've worked for. I'm going to be me, but I want to make sure that these guys know we're going to try to put them in the best possible position to go make those plays. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity, by all means.
Hey, head coach, Colorado State's open. This could be a hell of a 5-game audition for you.
I want to win. I want to win here. This is a special place. I want to win here. I want to take care of these guys over there. I'm looking at those 3 football players right there, what they've been through. Obviously, I've known Jake for quite a long time. He played football with my son in high school, so I've had a chance to follow his career. And these guys are competitors. So the one thing that I want to do, we want to win. We want to win the right way. We want to put these guys in a great position to go out and go out a winner for some of these seniors. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. There you heard it from interim head coach, wide receivers coach Billy Gonzalez. Seems like we're gonna see a more wide open offense, and we might even see 4 or 5 spread, and we might even see a spread offense. I like the direction that Scott Strickland is trying to take the program. I like Billy G as an interim head coach, and hopefully he stays with the staff. This direction seems like right now a repeat of when Ron Zook got fired and we hired Urban Meyer. Let's see who they end up hiring this time after Billy Napier, which was worse than Ron Zook. Leave me your thoughts down below. And like always, stay positive, stay on your line, and go Gators.